超級聯賽嚟到探實體育館，馬上為大家咧送上咧就係去年嘅冠軍啊，琉球黃金帝王對住咧深圳嘅狼者。咁啊兩支球隊咧都係連續3年咧就係參加咧亞洲聯賽嘅比賽嘅，咁所以咧都係好熟悉咧就係對方嘅球風。咁講下咧就琉球黃金帝王咧本身佢係嚟自沖繩嘅，咁啊舊年咧就佢哋嘅同學嘅景氣城咧，同埋咧佢哋個 MVP 呢個家庭球員射手，咁啊我本同咧都有個非常之好嘅表現。
啊，你放到进去，里边去协防去盖的，他不敢上的，清楚吧？但是外线这个球队投，啊，再一个后卫问题，再一个篮板球，包括突破一定要保护好球，因为小的球队也都很快，一定要保护好球，好吧？进攻往内里面找打啊！好的，谢谢。
服飾嚟講，佢哋個教練咧都有時咧就係有沖繩味道。
对，也不需要自己的。他也是他就他家场。まあそこトランジョンがですよ。
野马打前后，然后3发出往来向前，把掩护做好，把掩护做好。3发出没有，然后拼尽力的锤打挡拆，野马。打谁呢
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at the top stage later. As we continue the games for the East Asia Super League, Terrific 12 2019. Our second game day and our fourth game for today, the琉球Golden Kings going up against the Shenzhen Aviators. Starting for the琉球Golden Kings, number 2, Paul Fukuda. Number 4, P1 Brooks. Number 14, Yuji Kishimoto. Number 32, Yuki Itsura. And number 34, Shota Onogara. Coaching the琉球Golden Kings is Claudio Sasa. Starting for the Shenzhen Aviators, number 33, Ko Si-Lin. Number 11, Shen Shi-Ji. Number 14, Hong Yu-Feng. Number 23, Lu Yi-Wen. And number 55, Pierre Jackson.
Here we go with the fourth and final game of day 2 of the East Asia Super League. Terrific 12, Jutsuliden. Sedap Tupa still on the call for you. The battle at hand is between the team from China, Shenzhen Aviators, and then from Japan, debuting this year, the defending champions of the Terrific 12, the琉球Golden Kings of Japan.
Well, it's taken a while for us to get a good look at the琉球Golden Kings. Not until the 8th game of the tournament, we'll see how far they've come from last season's championship triumph. No more Jeff Ayers in the lineup, no Josh Cott for this ball game as well. But you know, this lineup, you cannot underestimate them. They stunned the Guangzhou Long Lions last year in the final.
Yeah, and then it was just great basketball that we saw from this team. They came into that that final as the underdogs, but this guy, Kishimoto, hailed as the finals MVP, did so much for his team, hitting big shots down the stretch. Now the import that Ryukyu will roll with today is Damon Brooks.
Well, Josh Cott is right there on the bench, but he's not suited up.
Fukuda could not get that triple. We know that what we've seen is that the three-point shooting is a big part of the game of Ryukyu. But with one thing, Sidel, that they enjoyed last year, having Josh Cott, Jeff Ayers, and then, like we said, surrounded by so many shooters, is that it was a good mix. Now they don't have that much size. Damon Brooks, obviously far from the height that they had with those two imports, Ayers and Scott. And you said Scott not available today.
Yeah, this is going to be a struggle for Ryukyu. And they're not even starting their usual starting point guard, Namizato, who's on the bench, played so well.
Oh, definitely. I remember covering and just being amazed by Narito Namisato. No you worry, says Ryuichi Kishimoto, the team captain of this squad, and like we mentioned, was awarded as the finals MVP. Why did you think he deserved that finals MVP?
Are you kidding me? That was 14 points in the fourth period, and he went up against Kyle Fogg, the import of Guangzhou, really went toe-to-toe. I mean, shot for shot, and even Maurice Bates had a say on that final, but Kishimoto's terrific outside shooting just prevailing in that battle. But as you mentioned, they don't have the luxury of a couple of big men as Kishimoto launches the three and knocks it down. They don't have that luxury because the last time they were playing in the terrific drum, they can go inside and outside. But right here, there's really, Brooks has yet to showcase if he can be a threat inside. We'll see if Ryukyu can overcome the size advantage.
Well, Shabazz Muhammad, one of the guys that this entire arena is waiting to see today. Yesterday against the San Miguel Beermen did not see action, but now he's out there.
Well, they need a win here, Shenzhen, to stay alive in the race for a semi-final spot, and they also have to make up for that deficit against San Miguel. I think they lost by 16 yesterday, so Shabazz Muhammad badly needed.
This is a do-or-die game then for the Shenzhen Aviators.
Brooks right there finding the lane free, but it's stripped off him. The ball will stay with the Kings.
To the dismay, obviously, of the Aviators, they felt like it should have been their possession. Long shot off the glass doesn't work. Onodera has it to Kishimoto. Quick trigger, Kishimoto from way downtown.
Well, Pierre Jackson has to be aware of Kishimoto's deadly outside sniping. He had his hand down there. And you know what happens when you have your hands down against Kishimoto? He'll bury that shot.
Muhammad trying to get those 3 points back, couldn't do so. Here now, Onodera. Another open look.
Well, 3 3-pointers to start a ball game for the Ryukyu Golden Kings.
This is what we were talking about, the ability of Ryukyu to knock down all these 3-point shots, just imposing themselves and giving a different kind of problem to their opponent. Losing his foot there, the footing there, but recovering. Pierre Jackson quickly on the other side. Onodera could not handle it. It was a bit ambitious. Pass was right there. Defense would have recovered, but a turnover eventually for the Shenzhen Aviators.
Wow, 4 subs coming in. Namisato, one of them. It's only Brooks who will stay on the floor for Ryukyu. And also last year, they had Ira Brown.
Yeah, Ira Brown as a local. So this is the guy you were waiting for, Narito Namisato, the steady guard of the Ryukyu Golden Kings.
This time much more, less flashy with his hair.
And Shenji Jia, count that jam, fouled on the way up, didn't matter. Look at the power that he'll use here. Also the great setup from He Ning.
Well, nice action there at the high post. He Ning attacking the basket, attracting Brooks before dropping it off to Shen.
Last year, the Ryukyu Golden Kings, they also had a very important player in Furukawa, who was the steady presence for them. Also had some big shots. But you know what they say, you play with the cards they're dealt. This is the roster they have now, hoping to repeat their success in the terrific 12. Namisato met by Muhammad. Taken away by Shabazz. Bothered by numerous defenders, wants the ball back. Shabazz Muhammad taking it strong. I think he watched Lance Stephenson in the previous game just barrel his way in.
Yeah, and Shabazz Muhammad looks like he's a man on a mission here early on. very aggressive, attacking the cup, drawing the foul on Brooks. Free throws for Shabazz Muhammad, making up for lost time as he tries to lead Shenzhen to a win here and stay alive in a terrific 12.
He was badly missed yesterday because the defense of the San Miguel Beermen picked apart the Shenzhen Aviators. Chris Ross, the two-time defensive player of the Philippine Basketball Association, really gave Pierre Jackson a difficult time, and it would have been a big positive for Jackson to have a running mate in Muhammad.
Actually, the Aviators lack someone who can create outside of Jackson.
Oh boy, all these three-pointers. Ishizaki this time, yeah.
And, you know, Ryukyu, we'll trade threes with twos. It's okay.
Ning getting that runner in. I'm really interested to see what's going to be the dynamic between Jackson and Muhammad. That time, Shabazz Muhammad, he dared Namizato to take it to him, and Narito Namizato providing.
Well, Namizato has a wide array of shots. Very creative, very crafty. And even with his small frame, he can score over taller defenders.
Underneath, Mitsuhara, the kick out. Ishizaki once again. Not this time, but the rebound straight to Kantake.
That was wide open though for Ishizaki.
Good defense for Han Yufeng. Kantake lines up a three. Bucket, bottom of the net. 5 3-pointers for the Ryukyu Golden Kings.
The Ryukyu Golden Kings just picking up from where they left off after the title run last year. Absolutely torching the Shenzhen Aviators with 2 American imports. And the quality of the shots, John, from beyond the arc, just remarkable how they've been so open with the way they run their offense.
They just keep moving that basketball until they find that good look from outside. And like you said, it's been an exchange of threes for Ryukyu, twos for Shenzhen. And you do the math, advantage going so far towards the side of the Golden Kings.
And Shabazz Muhammad forced into that turnover. But Ryukyu very comfortable even with their size disadvantage against the Shenzhen Aviators. They got to trust their offense. They're just doing just that as Namizato wiggles free.
Narito Namizato, a spectacle to watch him play. Kings take an 8-point lead here, threatening to completely break away very early in the match.
You know, Namizato, a prototype of a Japanese point guard. Standing around 5'7", 5'8", but well built, very strong, good handles, and of course very flashy as he tries to stop Pierre Jackson here. And that's we've been treated to some great point guards here from Japan in this tournament. Yuki Tagashi early on, with Chiba now. Namizato of the Golden Kings.
That's really where the strength of the Japanese lies. Remember their first Japanese. Oh, Pierre Jackson, drippity drop. Triple goes in, bonus on the way.
Not much that the defender can do there. Onodera had his hand up, but look at the step back from Pierre Jackson, releasing just in time and drawing contact for the possible 4-point play.
What you can do, I can do better, says Jackson here.
But that's a tough shot.
For Pierre Jackson.
Not, ordinary players can't make that shot, really. And Jackson is a special player for the Shenzhen Aviators.
Jackson yesterday had a good performance, but again, he struggled against the defense of Chris Ross. had 18 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists still. No good on the J. Jackson getting that rebound. You see why, even though he doesn't break 6 feet, he still gets 9 rebounds a game.
A great setup jump there by Pierre Jackson. Defense really concerned with him, and he finds He.
And Heshi Ning, 5 straight points. The pass, the lob to Shabazz Muhammad was a bit off, a little bit too difficult, but She was there to mop up the mess. He ties this game up 19 apiece.
Let's go! Come on, everyone. 掌聲送俾 Green Team， 嚟自韓國嘅 Green Team。
Damon Brooks and the Ryukyu Golden Kings, they took an early 8-point advantage here thanks to hot 3-point shooting, but Heshi Ning has not missed. He has caught fire, and with him providing 11 points, and Shenzhen has tied this game up.
And that, I think, was very important yesterday because they needed another scorer for the Shenzhen Aviators going up against San Miguel Beerman. This time, He able to provide the support needed for Jackson.
Ryukyu, Brooks, outside, no good. Battle for the board taken by Muhammad. Shabazz Muhammad leaving it to the big man, 19 years old. He gets to clean up his own miss. Zhao Yiming, rather.
Wow. Not much Damon Brooks can do there as he tried to defend the 7'2" kid there.
10-0 run here for Shenzhen. Brooks fouled on his way to the cup. That's not going to count.
That's one way you can draw the big man out of the lane. Zhao forced into defending that drive from Brooks. But on the other end, the kid just dominating against Brooks right there. Just no answer.
The kid doesn't look like a kid because he's 7'2". That's the reason why it's hard to look for the kid on the floor. But he is, as we mentioned, just 19 years old. A rookie for the Shenzhen Aviators. Muhammad getting the bucket through the foul. And Shenzhen, what a run. 12-0 blitz. Chance to extend it for the bonus free throw.
Well, Shabazz Muhammad, as you mentioned, started the game very aggressively. And Ryukyu, they're missing their 3-point shots now. And sooner or later, that is going to catch up with them. And Shenzhen able to capitalize. First, it was the big man inside, Zhao Yiming, and now Shabazz Muhammad trying to go to work. 5 points already for the import.
Shabazz taking his sweet time here. You know, not really rushing things, not trying to take complete charge of the ball game for the Shenzhen Aviators, but he's made some positive impact for sure. Ishizaki sees a good look. Now the three-pointers not falling in for Ryukyu.
That's the 4th straight miss for Ryukyu. Come up empty in several possessions already here.
Underneath, the kick out. Back to Jackson. 3-ball, good.
Automatic. Pierre Jackson, cross-court pass. gave Pierre Jackson some time, and that chopper from beyond the arc drops.
Bai Yao Tian with the assist that time. Namisato to his big man looking for a 3-ball. Mitsuhara couldn't provide.
5 of 12 now from beyond the arc for the Kings. 3 of 4 on the other hand for the Shenzhen Aviators. Better clip for the Chinese team.
And Ryukyu has missed their last 4 attempts from downtown.
And sooner or later, they have to find a way here to get inside buckets, higher percentage shots for the Ryukyu Golden Kings, because this is not going to cut it if you face a big team like the Shenzhen Aviators.
I mean, yes, we did mention how big 3-point shooting was for Ryukyu when they had that championship run last year here in the Turf 12. But at the end of the day, they were able to play through Josh Cott and Jeff Ayers, those two combining to provide the Twin Towers.
Yeah, absolutely. The interior defense as well.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I agree with you.
I remember Ayers, Scott, and Ira Brown on the floor, together with Namisato and Kishimoto. That was, I think, their strongest 5 last season.
That's just crazy to have that much talent on the floor. Muhammad will take a seat on the bench. Mitsuhara could not handle that pass. Deflected by Bai.
Well, Bai Hao Jian very active on the defensive end, preventing that dive to the basket by Mitsuhara.
Mitsuhara. Back to Kishimoto. Now it's Hasegawa. Making his move. Stop. Takes the 3-pointer. Just really not falling anymore for the Golden Kings. This could be a problem for them.
5 of 13 now for the Kings.
Missed there. Han Yufeng. But underneath, Zhao Yiming. Just too big.
Well, a few players in this tournament stop Zhao Yiming inside when he gets deep inside the paint.
The Ryukyu Golden Kings, they have 19 points. Will make that 22 after that buzzer beater from Hayato Kantake. Something that his team badly needed, because before that, it was a 19-0 run from the Shenzhen Aviators. The Ryukyu Golden Kings turned the deficit down to a 30-22 after this buzzer beater from Kantake. One quarter in, and it's been a quarter that had so much story, so many twists already. Well, one big twist was that after going up by 8 points, 19-11, the Ryukyu Golden Kings allowed the Shenzhen Aviators to go on a 19-0 run.
Yeah, a lot of missed 3-pointers, but you know, Ryukyu is not going to veer away from their identity, and their identity is a lot of three-point shooting.
Yeah.
6 of 14 from beyond the arc to start the ball game. As for the Shenzhen Aviators, they went 3 for 5. High point man was Heshi Ning with 11 points.
Kishimoto making his way to the cup. Bothered by Bai. Hasegawa. Now the Chinese asking for a traveling violation. Kishimoto breaking the defense down, but sticky defense there. A lucky shot knocked down by Fukuda. But apart from that, great defense play there by the Aviators.
Yeah, Shenzhen doing a great job staying in front, blitzing on the ball screen. At that time, Fukuda bailing out the Ryukyu Golden Kings.
Chow, 19 years old, and knowing how to use his body.
Zhao Yi makes 6 points on 3 for 4. Unstoppable inside.
Open look there, and that doesn't go in for Mitsuhara.
Loving the fight here from the Aviators and their young guns.
Definitely, but still on fire is Han Ji-Ming.
Han Ji-Ming, 13 points in the ball game. Still perfect as well, 6 of 6.
Incredible performance so far from that man. Underneath, Kantake tried to go for a tough angle there, couldn't get it.
Han Yu-Feng with a defensive stop there, preventing Kantake on that reverse.
Now it's Zhao wanting to show some range. Perhaps that's something that still is work in progress. Well, that's a big boy collision. Kishimoto. Well, that's a timing that, even though you're super tall and super long even, timing is still a very important part of getting in the defending shots.
Kishimoto giving around 17 inches. Wow. That play, but Kishimoto very smart, very clever. Drawing the foul from the young big of the Shenzhen Aviators.
Lots of work to be done here for the UQ Golden Kings. They are down now by 10 points. And very early parts of this game, I don't think you would have called a 10-point lead for the Shenzhen Aviators because the shots were simply falling. Pretty much everything they threw from beyond the arc was falling for the UQ Golden Kings.
Well, they made their first, 5 of the first 6 attempts from beyond the arc for the UQ Golden Kings, but somehow Shenzhen able to address that problem. They're able to close out hard on the shooters, particularly Kishimoto, who knocks down the free throw, has 8 points.
Yeah, and then what also happened was that it was the three-pointers of Shenzhen that started falling in. A ward-off for Shabazz Muhammad. He admits to it, immediately gets ready to play defense.
Shabazz Muhammad still feeling his way into the Shenzhen lineup. His first game with his new team.
A foul here committed by He Zhongmian.
I think someone who from Ryukyu has to step up, really impose himself, is the import Damon Brooks. Still scoreless, but has a couple of fouls. As Kishimoto goes to the bench, in comes Namizato.
Yeah, we haven't really seen the full ability of Damon Brooks yet. Fukuda now dumps it down low to Brooks. Matched up against Shen. Here's Brooks. Using his pivot there, but Coach Dwayne Walker asking for a traveling violation. Does he have a case?
Yeah, I think so. That was a travel.
I agree with you, actually.
Took an extra step. Offensive foul. The Aviators just falling into some mistakes here. But again, great job by Brooks in, making himself a threat for Ryukyu. They don't have an inside presence really with Scott not in there. They're not suiting up in this ball game.
Yeah, they are the two guys listed as imports of this team. The defending champions of UQ Golden Kings. Scott was there in the championship run of the Golden Kings last terrific 12, hoping to be a repeat champion of this tournament. Now only two teams, only two versions of this tournament, and only two teams obviously have been hailed champions, both of them coming from Japan.
That's true. Chiba Jets pulling off the feet a couple of years back. That's a foul. Clearly on Yang Lin Yi, pushing on Namizato.
That's a lot of fouls that were called on Shenzhen in consecutive manner, and that's why they are now above the limit. And Wilson, narito Namizato to the free throw line.
Coach Dwayne Walker not happy with what has transpired here in the second period. Namizato, a couple of drives earlier and a jumper in the first period. His hair this time less flashy. Had a
Yeah, I miss that hair. The one with the blonde streaks.
yeah, blonde streaks and it was all over the place.
Opting for a cleaner cut. Yeah. Approaching 7 minutes remaining in this ball game in the first half. Shen putting some pressure on Brooks. Ball was stripped away. It will stay with the Shenzhen Aviators with 7 seconds on their shot clock. They still are holding on to a 5-point lead, but they've been silent for a while.
Shen had every right to attack the defense of Brooks because Brooks is already on 2 fouls.
Muhammad against Namizato, no good. Rebound Brooks, running start for the UQ Golden Kings. Back to Brooks, fouled, count the basket. And a counter run here for the Golden Kings have brought them back to the game.
Brooks starting the fast break. Namizato able to find his import. And Brooks making his presence felt here in the second period after battling foul trouble in the first quarter.
先防守，现在对方现在比联盟不好，但是你防守的话防好了就可以多打反击，让对方没有联盟的机会啊。
Okay, give me the offense. Give me head five. Give me back head five like this. You with the ball, 5 set the screen, 4. Shabazz, be on the low post. You on the middle of the ball. You go on the right side, you go on the right side. Now I wanted this spacing. Corner.
拉开就打挡拆就可以，拉开打挡拆。
If you pass there, I want to be here.
打完拆去高位罚右线接球，明白？打完拆如果没有机会去罚右线接。
From corner, you can pass to Shen, and Shen. Look at this guy.
两侧的人注意看罚右线啊，注意看罚右线。第一个挡拆出来。
Coach Dwayne Walker still arguing his case with the referee as he felt that there were a couple of calls that should have gone their way. But one thing also that changed is that their offensive flow seems a little bit more problematic than it looked towards the latter part of the first quarter.
Now, Ryukyu making the adjustment, putting more pressure on the ball. Pierre Jackson has come in and trying to restore order with this offense of Shenzhen.
But Shabazz Muhammad waking his team up with that flush. What a pass.
By Pierre Jackson threading the needle for Shabazz Muhammad to throw it down with authority.
Namizato now. Pull-up jumper by the free throw line, no good. Let's see if that gets Muhammad going. Namisato picking up the foul there. Tried to stay with Pierre Jackson, but that shifty guard. Look at the way that ball. Well, it passed 4 white shirts before landing in the hands of Mohammed.
Well, it went through Brooks and Kantake there. Oh, great pass by Pierre Jackson. And the finish equally beautiful from Mohammed.
A stop taken by the Ryukyu Golden Kings. 3-ball, that's good for Ishizaki.
Ishizaki, three-pointer in transition. Kishimoto pushing the action, able to locate the shooter.
Wrong. A counter 3-pointer. Wrong fake. Making sure that he gets those 3 points back.
Beautiful flow to this ball game. Both teams settling in very well here in the second period.
Ishizaki sending it out to Kantake. They reset their offense. Kishimoto orchestrating. Screen set by Brooks. He steps back. 3-ball, another one. Not this time.
Well, great the closeout by Shen there.
Mohammed almost getting the 3-point play opportunity.
When Shabazz Mohammed has that ball on his left side, full head of steam, just tough to stop.
No doubt about it. And if he didn't lose control of the basketball, that could have actually been an easy 3-point play opportunity for him. But good foul, given up there, making sure that it was difficult already for Shabazz to get the 2.
And Shabazz Mohammed sorely missed yesterday, but now has gone to work 7 points. And balanced scoring actually for Shenzhen. Pierre Jackson has 8 points. Hey, who has been terrific with shooting 6 for 6 so far. Just 1 for 2 for Shabazz on that trip.
Yeah, they could have been better from the free throw line. They're now 3 for 7, 4 for 8 after that make from Mohammed. Ball not deflected. That's what they say. But the referee saw otherwise, and it's gonna stay with the Ryukyu Golden Kings to the dismay of Coach
I thought
Walker.
that was last touch on a Shenzhen player, Rong Zifeng. Mitsuhara trying to stay away from that basketball.
Well, there will be 9 seconds left on the shot clock of the Ryukyu Golden Kings. Kishimoto will be inbounding. Onodera asking for it. That's going to be taken away by Han Shiming. All the way, hanging in the air. Still on fire.
What a first half performance from this young man. Oozing with confidence at the moment. This time taking that ball to the cup. Strong finish. Couple of defenders, no problem. Hang time as well. And here he is at the line, trying to complete a 3-point play.
But the free throws not working for Shenzhen. 4 out of 10 now on the free throw line.
That's probably the only knock to their game
at this point, yeah. 7 on the shot clock. Ryuichi Kishimoto dancing with Rong Zifeng. Mitsuhara could not bail his team out. Well, at least they avoid a turnover there.
That was halfway in.
Mohammed lines up a 3.
Shabazz Mohammed working perfectly with his new teammates here at Shenzhen. He's doing some damage here in the first half. Extends the lead to 10 against the reigning terrific 12 champions, Ryukyu Golden Kings.
Come on. Let's get like thumbs down or like even like motion and we put the ball into you. And you have one good one-on-one. Let's attack it once. Or I want me to using that pick. So keep using that fist rotate, alright? That's the oneこいつのピックのところ使うのか、こいつのところのポスト今プレー使うのかっていうのちょっと。Here we go. Come on. Look at the duck in. The duck in is open. Alright, let's keep it that way. Let's go thumbs down. Side on end. Hey, let's go. Coach, what? You know you have to.
He Jiming has been the biggest factor in this match so far. He has 15 points after being, well, relatively quiet yesterday. He did have 11 points and 4 rebounds against the San Miguel Beermen, but not this kind of impact that he's having right now.
Well, he's been very efficient and 7 for 7 shooting, but you know, more than that, it's his activity on the defensive end that has really helped Golden Kings, the Aviators turn this thing around as well.
Brooks, unsuccessful, great defense shown by the Chinese. Behind the back, intended for Muhammad. Good intention, but execution a bit too fancy.
Not too fancy right there. Something he has to learn.
But look at him take that ball back. Muhammad, even if it was a tough pass, still finishing that play.
That's Muhammad's athleticism on full display there.
But slow to get back on defense for the Aviators. Ryukyu understanding the situation, making the most of it.
Many times we've seen the UQ Golden Kings look very vulnerable. Even last year, even if they had a couple of imports and Ira Brown. But the response has been the same, the body language has been the same, they keep on working.
How about Pierre Jackson? He has taken 6 rebounds already. He is tied with Damon Brooks with the most rebounds in this entire game.
And make that 3 for 3 from beyond the arc as well for Pierre Jackson. Just incredible here for Shenzhen. Everything coming together for Coach Wayne Walker.
Incredible. I don't think that word even does justice to what Pierre Jackson has done. Now the leading rebounder in the game with 7.
What a
Shabazz. Fake pass. 3 ball no good.
Had all day to shoot Shabazz Muhammad after that terrific find from Jackson.
And a foul for Muhammad. Caught Damon Brooks as he went up.
Shenzhen in a wonderful.
Pierre Jackson stands about 5 feet 9 inches. It pales in comparison to many players in this position. It pales in comparison to many players, period.
Yeah.
But it's his heart, his hustle, his effort that has separated him. 11 points, 8 rebounds. If I told you that someone had 11 points and 8 rebounds in the first half, you'd think it was a center from whatever team.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and it's a guard. It's a guard standing 5'10", who has 8 rebounds, closing in on a double-double.
He's just been fantastic for this team. Yesterday, needed a bit more help in order to do more damage, but that's what he has now, with Shabazz Muhammad playing. And that's also the reason why the Shenzhen Aviators are up 50-39.
Look at this. Doesn't matter what they play. Zone or man-to-man. I want the offense 3. You want the ball, you want the paint. Corner. 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 Now punching.
没打跟打脚，我今天没打脚。
Can't receive. You are inside. Give me like this. Make a fake and make a. This is your decision. You can substitute. You can walk out. You can go down. Someone second. Wait a second. Hey, wait a second. Maybe if you see that they play zone. Hey, back up. Content. Louis.
Ho Chi Minh, 15 points, 3 steals, 3 assists, no misses from the field just yet. Also has a couple of rebounds.
And that, I think, has done well to his confidence. His work at the defensive end are absolutely terrific. That's the first miss of Pierre Jackson from beyond the arc.
Oh, and the miss. He wanted to go for the jam that time. Shen Jie, but couldn't stick it. Nonetheless, his team will keep possession with less than 2 minutes left in the first half. Jackson, Rong Zifeng. Jackson there underneath. Ball fake, no good. Attack dribble on the baseline. Bucket for Pierre Jackson.
Oh, Pierre Jackson simply knowing just what to do when he's caught in that position. Other point guards would pull back. No, Pierre Jackson will pull up with a baseline J.
A miss on the other side. And will be whistled for a foul there.
Number 33, penalty, that's his first.
Try to box a player out so that Pierre Jackson can get the rebound.
That time, Huz activity getting the best of it. Hasn't been the same for Ryukyu. They've been, their guns have been silent after they're taking a 19-11 lead in that first period.
It was just a major run for the Shenzhen Aviators. Not only did they get back in the game, they are already up by double digits. Jackson, what a show, but couldn't get that triple. Effort was there. Shen getting that board, fouled by Fukuda. The size advantage of the Shenzhen Aviators on full display here, Sadao.
Yeah, Coach Norio was mad at that call, but really, what can these guys do with guys like Shen Jie are crashing the offensive glass, keeping possessions alive? You know, these guys have size, but they also work very hard to keep balls alive for their team.
Rong Zifeng looking to attack. There was a foul. Penalty situation now for the Ryukyu Golden Kings. They will send the Shenzhen Aviator to the free throw line. It's going to be Rong Zifeng.
The question really for the Ryukyu Golden Kings was their game plan sustainable? Because they hit their first 5 of 6 shots from beyond the arc. After that, they've been struggling, and they were not able to establish an inside presence. It wasn't until when Brooks came in the second period and scored from close, but really too little too late, because Shenzhen has settled in, has found its rhythm. Aviators now in total command this 14-point lead.
And despite being a very young team, the Shenzhen Aviators have been able to impose themselves here. Guy who went to the free throw line, Rong Zifeng, only 20 years old, but already has 2 years of professional basketball under his belt. 3 on the way. Still no goal for the Ryukyu Golden Kings. Oh, a bad miss there for Liu Yiwen, their team captain.
But Pierre Jackson almost immediately consoling who you win. That's a mark of a true leader there.
Yeah. Pierre Jackson is already the second oldest member of this team at 28 years old. From outside, Mitsuhara will not get that to go.
Mitsuhara has struggled here. Has made 1 3-pointer, but he's shot a lot as well. 1 of 5 so far.
2-3 zone being brought out by the Ryukyu Golden Kings. Lu finally getting a bucket that he has been looking for a while now.
3-point shot not available this time, flashing to the middle. That free throw line jumper was wide open.
Kishimoto with 4 seconds left on the clock. Sends it out, Kantake. Could not beat the buzzer like he did in the first quarter. And it's the Shenzhen Aviators who have upped their lead to 16, 56-40 at the half. They are ahead over the Ryukyu Golden Kings.
中獎品嘅遊戲咧，就係俾呢個朋友啊，今次咧請嚟呢位年輕嘅朋友咧，嚟參加咧就係中場射波嘅挑戰。咁啊，點解要中場射波咧？本來呢個環節咧射罰球，但咧喺呢個時段嘅時候咧，有6位嘅朋友咧射罰球咧有 Apple 啦，6位咧都唔入，一路叫緊。咁我決定咧，我覺得試下出嚟難啲啦，啲咁樣。咁我哋咧就中場。 射籃框，使唔使示範一次？唔使示範㗎啦，嚇，唔使示範㗎啦，我覺得嚇，嗱，睇下會唔會有機會時間咧，我會俾大家咧，起碼2次嘅機會有嘅。嗱，再近啲，以往嘅中場射波咧，可能喺呢度出手啦，喺呢度出手。而家咧，你只要喺呢個 East Asia Super League 嘅 logo 內出手入咗咧，就 OK 嘅啦。OK， 現場球迷，可唔可以俾啲鼓勵俾佢哋啊？ 好，俾個鼓勵，就可唔可以再大聲少少咧？好少少啦 ，OK。好，一位，你叫咩名？鄭志恒係嘛？咁你攞個動作，你啱啱打波，終於係得㗎啦 ，OK， 準備好？鄭生 ，come on， 嚟啊嚟啊嚟啊！食咗飯未？啊，食得太多飯。你叫咩名？選擇我哋鄧生，咁啊，嚟，你指得唔錯喎，爭少少。OK， 你叫咩名？蕭文豪，蕭生，咁啊，蕭生得唔得？你喐翻個線，仲係爭啲。好，你叫咩名？休住氣啊！你啱啱我叫住你個名啊！你啱啱窒我啊嘛，射遠少少，你又俾我。 講住啊，冇咁衰啊，都係咁樣射啦。我見你咁細粒，你應該射呢個波點要先嚟水㗎。啊，好嘅，嚟。啊，咁啊，食多啲飯啊，食多啲飯啊。OK， 你叫咩名 ？Leo， 咁啊 Leo。好，我哋食飯。你叫咩名 ？Lady， 嚟 Lady。 Lady 入咗後面就冇㗎啦嚇 ，Lady，OK， 每人再多一次機會，先獎就係俾啲掌聲，再多一次得唔得？啊，我哋要鼓勵啊，澳門啲年輕嘅朋友嘛，加油！咁啊，好 ，next， 繼續，俾啲手就可以繼續去㗎啦。到而家都未有人做過呢個中場挑戰，我記得舊年咧係第一次，係讚佢兩位喺第一日啊已經有人中過贏過機票啦。繼續，睇先。哦！今句我都要出啦，高手一出手，邊知有個有，但我哋俾埋機會下一位先，等會唔會連續2個澳門嘅球迷都可以贏到大獎？ 好，恭喜晒你叫咩名 ？Leo， 我哋俾啲掌聲俾啊 ，Leo 先生 ，thank you， 我哋幾位嘅青少年啊。 20年嘅輝煌時刻。第30屆公園國際櫻花比賽會9月7、13、21、28日，10月1至5日，閃耀澳門夜空無限星。
我哥你當傻 K 喎，唔係悶咩？
少少啦。咁你有咩推介？最緊要係有益身心。
入去有個小檔嘅係健康諮詢站同大眾溫嘅先至有益身心。諮詢站現場有專人幫你做體質監測，而康嘅日就設有有趣嘅運動參與遊戲。兩個活動期間就會有不同嘅運動項目展示，出去學下人哋點做運動啦。咁我哋就唔關嘅下。嚟緊有健康諮詢站同大眾溫嘅將於以後時間同地點舉辦，歡迎市民踴躍參與。
There's the block. And you'll see the wag. Ross all the way to the top. There's the size of the tiny. Offense take position. Rebound. Ross here. High. Loses the basketball. Pascal will break away and well.
of the first half for the Shenzhen Aviators. He Ning, 15 points, did not miss a single shot. He was 7 of 7 from the field, including 1 attempt from downtown. The only shot that he missed was from the free throw line. How ironic is that? But as we open the second half, it's a 60-point lead for the Shenzhen Aviators. Jutsulit and Sedef Tupa still on the call for this one. It's the East Asia Super League. Terrific 12 from Macau.
And what I like about that performance from Huh in that first half is actually his 3 steals, his defensive activity. Really helped Shenzhen establish themselves in this ball game.
And a jump ball there. Whistled as Brooks and Shen got locked up. Respectable effort for both gentlemen.
UQ started really hot from beyond the arc, but has since cooled off. Finished the first half 6 of 14. No.
Jackson has the basketball again. Muhammad asking for it. Feels like he has a mismatch there. Instead, they go to the corner. 3 ball doesn't work. Oh, it's Lu Yiwen missing from downtown. Kishimoto momentarily losing control. Brooks mistimed his jump. Running start there for Brooks. Muhammad taking it to the rack.
There's an athleticism of Shabazz Muhammad there, making the adjustment. I know it was just a tough angle for him in that baseline. Somehow he manages to throw it up and put it in. And we talked about Ryukyu Golden Kings' 3-point shooting. They settled for 30% from beyond the arc, 7 of 23 in the first half, and that's just a far cry from their start, which is 5 of 6. So they missed 2 of their, probably last 15.
Yeah, that's a stark difference from how they started and how they were able to play in the latter part after that 19-0 run that the Shenzhen Aviators were able to bring out. Really changed the complexion of this game. Muhammad, high looping shot, no good. Bounces back to Jackson. Triple, no good. Shabazz Muhammad mopping up that mess.
Staying aggressive, Shabazz Muhammad adding to his tally, now at 17 points.
Brooks pinning, met at the cup. Lots of contact, finally a foul whistled.
Brooks showing no fear against the 2 Chinese big men. But at times the whistle for the personal was Lu Yiwen.
Lots of contact here, that's for sure. Brooks the contact. Kishimoto coming out. 5 on the shot clock. Kishimoto could not sink that 3-pointer.
Now 2 for 7 from beyond the arc for Kishimoto, the reigning MVP. The terrific 12 having a difficult time against the Shenzhen Aviators.
And Shen with a reverse. What a play. Lob pass thrown up. Shen knew what to do.
High in the sky play, Jackson's vision and his ability to distribute that basketball on full display there, but the finish, very athletic. Shen adjusting in midair, but the quick response from the Golden Kings. That's Katake with a baseline J.
That's what you want for your players not to be phased, even though a highlight play was brought out by the opponent. Ryukyu trying to recalibrate their attack. Jackson going for another highlight. Shen Jishe getting pushed that time. He'll hit the free throw line.
What a luxury to have. 7-footer, a recipient of this beautiful lob and a throwdown from Shen.
One more look at it. And that's the rule. You don't play nice, you gotta play the prize. Shen Jishe, it was more than just an alley-oop. It was a highlight. It's something to remember for everyone watching the Terrific 12.
Well, they tried to do a similar play yesterday against San Miguel. Didn't work. This time it worked perfectly for Pierre Jackson and Shen.
Shen, an all-star in the CBA. Fast rising name in Chinese basketball.
Oh, Namizato in the ball game. Like it's Kishimoto taking a break.
Mitsuhara sends it to Namizato. Two-man game works to perfection as Mitsuhara kisses it off the glass.
A great play there by Namizato. He really needs to step up here.
There's Shen once again, finding a way. Enough mustard to get that to fall in.
The height is might for Shen, just capitalizing on his advantage there underneath. And the soft touch getting the kind roll.
Namizato, no good. Ball tapped to Shen. Muhammad leading the break, looking for Rong. Shen, all alone. Only Namizato to beat. Jumped up, nothing Namizato could do.
Shen running the floor. Confidence is oozing on the secondary break. Muhammad waits for a teammate, and then Shen throwing it down for another basket.
Let's go inside. Inside.
Shen Zhizhe working with a double-double, 1 rebound away. But we gotta put one man on a triple-double watch. Pierre Jackson with 13 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. A lot of the points that Shen has been able to score here in the third quarter assisted on by Jackson. Here's Brooks though.
Almost a steal there by Jackson as well. Wow, the Aviators just turning the intensity up on the defensive end. Shabazz Muhammad a bit frustrated with that call, but you know, if your coach, Dwayne Walker, got to be happy with the intensity that the Aviators have shown in the third period in particular. Once a close game and now turned into a rout.
Yeah, Shabazz feels like he got robbed of a highlight block there. Arguing with the ref that he got all ball. He's okay, his team is still in a good position. They're up by 13. Brooks can trim it down to 12. 23, rather, down to 22. See, with all the points that the Shenzhen Aviators have put up, my math has now been questioned.
Wow. That's why we're here. We're not counting. But, you know, Shenzhen just finding their flow here in the third period. And that's the reason why they're up big.
Shen, once again, he's been the weapon of choice. Wrong was the recipient of a beautiful pass, but couldn't get the lay-in. Namizato stops on the dime. They're trying to get it to the post. Mitsuhara defended too aggressively by Rong, and a foul called on the youngster of the Shenzhen Aviators.
Rong right there trying to defend Mitsuhara on the low block, giving up a few inches, had to give up the foul. But another problem here for Ryukyu Zhao Ming, the big man, coming in place of the inform Shen Ji.
Yeah, they saw that. Well, you did mention Rong he gave up a lot of size. Size won't be a problem anymore, but Mitsuhara sinking a three-pointer.
He's 1 of 6 now, Judd. Mitsuhara missed his first 5. That's his first make here in the ballgame.
It should be a good sign for them to finally get something going. Not anymore, because Shabazz Muhammad going with the traditional way of trying to get 3 points for himself.
Shabazz Muhammad, unstoppable, going to his left there. Took it to the body of Brooks. Look at this. Gets the contact and lays it in. The soft touch from the former Minnesota Timberwolf.
He has been around for a while now, both in the NBA and the CBA. Shabazz Muhammad played for the Timberwolves from 2013 to 2018, and then was a member of the Bucks in the 2018 season. Played for the Shanxi Brave Dragons in the CBA in his first year there before moving to the Shenzhen Aviators.
Averaged close to 30 points in his previous team. Right here. This would have been a different story had he played yesterday.
Absolutely, I would agree.
Spearman.
I mean, it may have not guaranteed a win for them, but much more competitive, that's for sure.
That's true, as Shabazz, beautiful runner down the lane. Up to 21 points.
Yeah, and silently too, but you would be surprised. Okay, he's got 21. Nice jumper here for Namizato, getting to his spot.
Yeah, Namizato, can't expect him taking threes. Instead, he's gonna put that ball on the deck and knock down those mid-range Jays.
This is something new that we're seeing for UQ, because they were rather dominant last year in the Terrific 12, did not even lose a single game. And so for them to be in this position, it's just pretty surprising.
Yeah, missing his first shot, but Shabazz Muhammad puts it in on the putback.
Here comes the Shenzhen Aviators. Count another assist for Pierre Jackson. Assist number 8 for that man.
2 assists away from a triple-double is Pierre Jackson. Shabazz Muhammad in form, looking good at the moment for Shenzhen.
25-point lead. Wrong. To Jackson, getting 2 more points, is up to 15.
Applying the pass to Pierre Jackson, and Pierre Jackson, Shenzhen already with 6 steals in the ball game and only 5 turnovers.
They've been very active when it comes to playing the passing lane. Those passes though got away, but look, they eventually deflected it. Mitsuhara not getting a second 3-pointer. Kantake will try his own. No luck.
Wow. Hit on the basket for UQ, especially with their shots from beyond the arc, as this lead has swelled to 27 big points for the Shenzhen Aviators. Shabazz Muhammad has been relentless in this ballgame.
Absolutely, and I feel like there's also some eagerness resulting to him not playing yesterday and watching his team fall short against the San Miguel Beermen of the Philippines. And Shabazz Muhammad, as a player, that's a challenge on you. You know that you're an input of the team. They're going to rely on you to deliver their first win here in the Terrific 12. Well, he's provided so far, but the job is not done yet, although it's looking more and more bleak for the UQ Golden Kings. This lead is just continuously growing.
Well, not a good sign for UQ, but they do have a chance of entering the next round, but they have to come up with their A-game against the San Miguel Beermen, and their A-game may not be enough as well. They meet the Beermen tomorrow. And San Miguel needing a win also to seal their place in the knockout round. Two Filipino teams already eliminated.
Yeah, after Liaoning won their game earlier against Niigata Albirex of Japan, that's when they sealed their seat in the next round in the semifinals. And at the same time, Blackwater Elite absorbing a loss, 2 losses, one yesterday, one today. And unfortunately for those teams, they will bow out of contention here. Now what hurts for TNT is you still have one game. You've only lost one, but you're going to have to enter your next match already with the knowledge that you will not make it to the next round.
Yeah, but it's still one game against another team, not from your country. So a lot of pride still at stake there.
Triple sunk by Haji Ning.
Nahan has been on point in this ball game. Terrific performance from him. On both ends of the floor, this is his 4th steal.
I don't think he's missed from the field at all.
No, he missed one earlier. That was...
yes, that is correct. A 2-pointer that he missed. But what performance, shooting 8 for 9, including 2 triples. Ishizaki swinging to the left side. And the blocking foul there. Hasegawa exploiting the defense of Chao.
Admitting his mistake there, but not much he can do there. That was a clear path to the hoop, but the Aviators over the limit in this 3rd period.
1:16 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Shenzhen in penalty now. 2 free throws for Hasegawa.
So 3 of the 4 groups here in the East Asia Super League Terrific 12 still not decided on who will punch their ticket to the next round.
It's going to be exciting to find out what's going to happen with these teams. Gong Zifeng working against Ishizaki. Ishizaki, a member of that championship team last year. Zhao gets it again against Brooks. 19-year-old Zhao barreling into the body of Damon Brooks, getting the better of the import of Ryukyu.
Nice quick spin to the baseline. Brooks not in a good position there as a quick spin, eluding him.
Ishizaki missing, but that ball tapped out. Kishimoto recovering. Brooks taking that shot, draining the triple.
Lead still at 31 points for Shenzhen. Ryukyu not in the penalty.
Kishimoto getting called for a foul.
First foul, 14th foul.
And quickly apologizing. I think he lost his balance. That's why he was forced to grab on to the waist of the guard, Yang Lin Yi. Once again, Zhao. And that is gonna be a flush. One drop step. The defense was deleted.
Zhao just stuffing it over Brooks. But, you know, this has been the strength of the Shenzhen Aviators. They have a lot of big men who are very versatile, who are very nimble on their feet inside. Zhao right here. Big spin again to the baseline. Brooks gambled on the steal here. Tried to pull the chair out of the big men.
33-point lead now for the Shenzhen Aviators. 10 more minutes of basketball action when we return.
掌聲俾佢哋啦 ，Top play！
Fourth quarter underway here. 33-point lead for the Shenzhen Aviators. And no Shabazz Mohammed, no Pierre Jackson to begin the fourth quarter. Rong Zifeng, that ball halfway down.
A big third quarter for the Shenzhen Aviators, 33-16. They outscored the Ryukyu Golden Kings. That's why this lead is 12, 89-56.
It's just been a marvelous performance for this team. And a foul whistled on the Aviators.
Yang Lin Yi telling the referee that it was Kishimoto who was warding off with his right elbow.
What kind of energy? I mean, it's going to be tough to win this match. Basically already listed for Shenzhen with a commanding advantage here, but what do you want to achieve if you're UQ?
Well, I want to trim this gap to as small as possible because I know I still have a chance going into that game against San Miguel tomorrow. So you have to make up for this big lead of the Shenzhen Aviators. And in case a triple tie happens, you would have a better shot with the coaching system.
And a double team thrown at Zhao Yiming, which leads to a foul.
So very important for Ryukyu to cut the deficit even smaller. Winning this game really out of the question for the Golden Kings, the reigning champions of the terrific 12. Three ball that knocked down by Yang Lin. Up to 33 once again. Ishizaki on the drive, drops it off to Kantake, who knocks down the baseline J. Cutting the lead to 31 points. 8:25 remaining here in the ball game. And Ishizaki is whistled for the foul on the driving Yang Lin Yi. Second team foul for UQ. Big game tomorrow for UQ Golden Kings against San Miguel Beermen of the Philippines. Spin move to the basket. Rong Zifeng draws the foul on Yuki Mitsuhara. That's a third team foul on the Golden Kings, and that time it was an active shooting, so Rong Zifeng will go to the line for a couple of foul shots. Rong Zifeng, another promising young talent for the Shenzhen Aviators. We did not expect this game to turn out this way because this is just a one-sided affair. Of course, UQ coming in as the defending champions. You know, they want to go for a repeat this year, but they did not have Josh Gott in the ball game. Pierre Jackson back in the mix here for the Shenzhen Aviators. He already has 8 assists, 11 rebounds, and 15 points. Three-pointer from Ishizaki is a miss. Ball tracked down by Pierre Jackson. Jackson 2 assists shy of a triple-double. Jackson gets it back. There Jackson uses the pick. Getting the ball in on the deck was Rongji Feng and scoring on the drive. Lead is up to 35. Atake to Kishimoto. Onatera. There's Jackson. Kantake now. Shot clock winding down for UQ. Kantake, air ball. Quick lead pass to Hung. There's Yang Lin Yi. Rongji Feng for the three.
You know, that's their team captain, and he has always been looking for something to provide for his team. Because team captain at 24 years old. So, you know, this is, like we said, a very young team. And a leader like that, you always want to have something, you know, to provide for your team and hope to inspire your teammates.
Lots of mismatches.
Yes, it's good for Blue.
On here.
And now it's a 40-point lead for the Shenzhen Aviators.
Not letting up.
That's his fourth personal foul.
And you know what? Kishimoto has had a nightmarish start to the Terrific 12 tournament here.
最後一個表演，
Here.
請所有嘅球迷用掌聲嚟歡迎嚟自韓國嘅 Dream Team。可以嘅話，可以跟住我哋組合嘅節奏嚟 clap clap clap， 一齊跟住拍。我哋嘅球迷可以俾少少意見俾我哋遠道嚟嘅韓國朋友啊。
ちょっと逆にさ、ちょっとこいつらにリジェクトちょっとさせるようにして、ちょっともうちょっとベースラインドライブが狙っていくんですよ。オッケー。アタックしたら、オッケー。いや、ディフェンスはでかいけど、そこ体、こっちょっとファウルしてないけど、リバウンド手に行こう。
Back inside the Top Sec Stadium in Macau for the continuation of the Terrific 12 of the East Asia Super League. Right now, the defending champions Ryukyu Golden Kings dismantled by the Shenzhen Aviators. The Shenzhen Aviators are up by 40 points right now. They got 41 after Rongzi Feng made that jumper, that free throw rather, to complete a three-point play. And what a performance this has been truly for this team. It's one thing that they are able to get this kind of a lead in this tournament, but it's another to do it against the defending champions. And Hashi Meng really on a tear. 43-point lead. What a show here. Rebound for Jackson.
A three-pointer just not working for Ryukyu since the early part of this ball game. And they take a lot of threes, and they missed a lot of threes in this ball game. That has been the story for them.
That's right, and you're just left to think about what's next for the UQ Golden Kings, because they will be facing the San Miguel Beermen up next, a team that defeated the Shenzhen Aviators.
But that Shenzhen Aviators team did not have Shabazz Muhammad in that ball game, so it cannot be.
Okay, so my question to you is, how differently do you think it would have been?
It would have been closer. You know, tighter game. I thought for stretches yesterday, Shenzhen really lacked a go-to guy, especially when Pierre Jackson went back to the bench. And Shabazz Mohammed would have been a great addition to them, especially with Des Wells doing some damage for San Miguel.
Yeah, but right now, Shenzhen Aviators, they are just gonna hope that somehow Ryukyu can find a way to defeat San Miguel, because if it does end up a three-way tie, this impending big win is gonna be a boost for the point differential, which will factor in case Ryukyu will find a way to take down the Beermen tomorrow. And if ever, well, it should be a win now for Shenzhen.
Well, for the Beermen, to avoid any complications, just need to beat Ryukyu. Not an easy task, especially if Josh Scott decides to play tomorrow.
Not at all. Far from an easy task. Jackson splitting the defense. He is one assist away from a triple-double, but right now he has 17 points and 13 rebounds.
Beautiful move there by Jackson, but back on the other end, it's Ohana knocking down the three.
Those are the shots that just didn't fall earlier in the game for this team, and I'm surprised. Up by 40. Shenzhen still rolling with Pierre Jackson and Shabazz Mohammed both on the floor.
And Shabazz Mohammed making up for lost time.
I was really interested in how they had planned to play with Shabazz and Pierre Jackson, because those two guys, both guards, both handle the ball a lot. Doesn't seem to be a problem for this team.
Well, I think they complement the entire roster of this Shenzhen Aviators squad, because
that's right.
Shabazz Mohammed can't play the 2 or the 3, and can't play the 4 as well. Can create matchup problems at the 4 position. And in terms of size, he's also a problem for the guards, especially here in Asia. So with the promising big men of the Shenzhen Aviators, I think they're going to learn a lot from playing with Pierre Jackson and Shabazz Mohammed.
I agree, and looking at the total of Shabazz Mohammed, he's at the free throw line right now, trying to add his 27 points. And for the other import in Pierre Jackson, working with 17, but again, 17 points, add 13 rebounds, add 9 assists.
Now this game flew by quickly, as we see Shabazz Mohammed missing on the second. The pace of this game, Shenzhen matching with the pace of the UQ Golden Kings.
I just still cannot understand really how Pierre Jackson was able to grab 13 rebounds.
Well, there were a lot of long rebounds because of the missed 3-pointers.
But you know what I mean? Even so,
Yeah.
even so, someone 5'9", 5'10" if you're being generous. But for him to be able to grab all those boards.
And those were also mostly on the offensive glass. Just not giving up on some plays.
I do hope that he gets that last assist before he steps out of the game, though.
He'll get there.
Brooks, nothing from deep. Coming away with the board. Onodera. They feed Brooks again. Open, lay in, that's good.
A little too late there with Brooks.
Lead is 41. Here's Jackson, looking for a teammate. Had to force it up. Still going Shenzhen's way.
Well, that's Pierre Jackson being crafty.
Okay, tell me, was he looking for the assist initially?
I think so. I think so. Then things got a little bit tight inside, and he decides to take the shot, and he kisses it off the glass.
Pierre Jackson, just a spectacle in Yesterday, he had to carry the burden for the Shenzhen Aviators against the talented guards of the San Miguel Beermen.
Today he had a running mate, Shabazz Muhammad, and what a time for them.
And you see it in his game. He's not the type who'd score 20, 30, maybe if really, really necessary. But he would much rather do a little of everything. That's what he's done, grabbing his 14th rebound.
Actually, he was trying to set up his teammates yesterday.
Muhammad felt like he was fouled.
But what a rebound from Shabazz Muhammad. Came from a long way out.
And there was an elbow. Kantake was asking the referee, why didn't you call anything on that? But he will be pulled out of the game now, probably for good at this point, as Muhammad, see the numbers on your screens. Kantake, Hayato Kantake, he had a tough responsibility of trying to chase Shabazz Muhammad for several stretches in this basketball game.
Shabazz Muhammad coming in fresh. And also, was able to watch his teammates play. And almost immediately it fit in perfectly with the Shenzhen Aviators. But I think, with the score line now, there's a huge lead. Ryukyu has to beat San Miguel by a huge margin. And, I just doubt that will happen. They might beat San Miguel, but not this big to make up for this deficit.
Yeah, misses. Ryukyu, they want to play with a lot of pride here in this tournament as they are the defending champions, but barely looked like it here in this game. Since maybe the 3 or 4 minute mark of the first quarter. Is their first 5 minutes of this game. It was pretty spectacular. They were hitting a lot of shots.
Well, that was a 19-0 run, Judd, as you mentioned, in that first period that really did the damage for the Shenzhen Aviators.
Pierre Jackson almost got that assist that he was looking for. And a timeout is going to be whistled here. Jackson really frustrated. Well, he just felt like it was a wasted opportunity for him to get that triple-double. A minute and 29 seconds remaining in this ball game between the Shenzhen Aviators and the Ryukyu Golden Kings. Shenzhen about to take down the champions. They are up by a big margin very late in this game. The biggest lead they enjoyed was 43 points.
Derek Jackson no longer on the floor here, Judd. He's done.
He's given up on the triple-double, but he'll still end up with very respectable numbers. 20 points, 14 rebounds, and 9 assists. And I'm sure if you ask Jackson, it doesn't matter that he lacks 1 assist to complete a triple-double. What fills in that gap is the 1 win that they're gonna take.
Yeah, definitely, and that opportunity to still be in the fight for that semifinal spot here in the terrific 12. UQ, with this huge 46-point deficit, this is going to be difficult to overcome. Even if they beat the San Miguel Beermen tomorrow, they have to make up for that huge deficit.
Yeah. We'll have to beat the Beermen by about maybe 60 points or so.
But for Shenzhen, I like that they responded this way after that loss to San Miguel.
Yeah.
This is a terrific response. Shabazz Mohammed comes in and pumps some life to that offense of the Shenzhen Aviators, which really struggled against the San Miguel Beermen. And now they've given themselves a chance in this tournament.
And this is a very quick tournament. It takes 5 playing days and a week to find out who's going to be the champion of the Terrific 12. And that's just to show that that's what the Shenzhen Aviators showed to all the teams competing here, is you just have to have a short-term memory. You pick up a loss maybe in 1 day. Tomorrow you gotta come out hungrier, putting that loss in the past while learning from the mistakes you made.
Yeah, absolutely. And one guy who's really struggled in this ballgame, reigning MVP, Kishimoto.
Let's it up, you know, for the Ryukyu Golden Kings. They are going to go down, and of course they got hurt by the performance of Shabazz Mohammed. Pierre Jackson is also terrific, but they're going to look at that stat sheet and say, okay, Han Shi-Ning was spectacular against us. The local of the Shenzhen Aviators finishes with 22 points in this 115-77 victory. What a show it was for the Shenzhen Aviators. That guy, big man on your screens, Zhao Yiming, also showing out. Big performance all around for the Chinese team. And they evened the record out at 1-1. Tomorrow, the Ryukyu Golden Kings will be taking on the San Miguel Beermen, who sit on top of their group so far. That's going to determine who will march into the semifinals from this group.
A great win for the Shenzhen Aviators as they bounce back with a win against the Ryukyu Golden Kings. And she went with a big performance today. Talk about the response of your team after that loss yesterday.
我觉得我们第一场比赛可能是处于磨合吧，包括现在我们队里整个就伤病情况比较多，包括双胃炎前段时间刚到，我觉得整个第一场是处于磨合吧，包括今天这场比赛也是处于磨合状态，但今天就是比昨天感觉好了很多吧。
How big was the impact of your import, Shabazz Mohammed, coming in and helping you out in this ball game against Ryukyu?
我觉得他的加入对于我们来说非常适合我们这个体系，包括他的冲击能力、他的篮板能力，对我们球队有很大帮助。包括他这个整个转换，包括策应球，我觉得对我们球队有很大帮助。我觉得他的加入就使我们这个体系，我觉得更加完善嘛。
And thank you very much and congratulations, Shenzhen Aviators coming away with a big win, but they have to wait for the result of the game between the San Miguel Beermen and the Ryukyu Golden Kings to determine if they're going to the semifinals of the East Asia Super League Terrific 12.